welcome SA Coach Vela. Coach, thanks for blessing us with your presence.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Coach, another positive result. What was your game plan today?
Look, if you noticed, we did not change the team that played against Botswana because we want to build up to the tournament. And as predicted, we know we're going to play teams that are going to play low block, reinforced defense, and that has always been how we wanted to unlock in our match preparations. We will say teams of this nature, they will always go behind and stay behind and hope to get us on transition. So we then say, let's be balanced even when we are in attack, but at the same time we get our balance at the back and try to have a lot of movement. However, the weather is too hot, we can have movement in patches, but we then resorted to keep possession as much as possible, which I think that was the plan. We wanted to keep the possession more. We wanted to have combinations. I'm not going to talk about the opponent that much. I'm not so sure what they told, whether to come and kick us or what, I don't know. It's something that I don't want to talk about. I can only talk about the team and how can we improve going forward.
Coach, as much as you've just said, you don't want to talk about the opposition and the physicality. My next question was exactly about that. During the presser of our first game, you mentioned working on your boys' mindset, not to take things for granted and all of that. Was that part of the reason why today we saw your boys being kicked a lot but not really retaliating? Was that the part of your strategy? Is it what you told the boys? Were you expecting your opponent to be as physical as they were? Or is it something that you saw during maybe the course of the game?
I only noticed that the first 2-3 minutes of the game. However, then immediately I picked it up to say, let's rather move the ball as soon as possible. Let's avoid contact, because one could see that there's no plan here against the opponent. And one wonders if this is how we want to develop our kids at this age already, where you then say, let's get them right. I mean, with the talent we have here, it says to you, the next intake, these boys will go to under 20, these boys will also go to under 23 and so forth, to Bafana. So get the basics right, get the foundation right, which is something that we are trying by all means to do as South Africans. So when you play against other countries, you then say, what is the plan with them? Are they planning to develop their country, or are they just here to kick our boys? And we nearly lost most of our boys, and there's a plan. It's not, yes, the biggest achievement here is when we win this tournament, or when we see our boys, most of this in the coming years, you see them in under 20, you see them under 23, and Bafana. That is the main thing about us. But you wonder with other countries to say, if they come here and say, we are going to sit at the back there, and then you start kicking your players off the ball, and all of those nasty things. Look, this is not going to help any country, but it's all about kids that are coming here to enjoy football and play football. I think it's important thing is let these kids come here and enjoy football. Whilst they're enjoying, learn out of what the game is teaching them, which is most important. We knew that this country is going to be sitting back, but we wanted to give challenges to say, how do we challenge ourselves? How do we get behind them? How do we allow them to go? At one stage we were saying, let them come to us, just so that they can have those openings, because they are sitting there, and as they are sitting there, we can't really get the combination because they're kicking at us. So we then said, let's allow them to come at us so that we can quickly have the ball. When we have the ball, we are quickly getting into there with the combinations and all of that. That's our style of play. We want more of a better challenge than just being kicked off of the ball and all of those things. It was not really a good game for us, to be honest.
Thanks, Coach. Colleagues, you have the floor.
Coach, congratulations on the win. You've spoken about the approach being the same, to try and keep possession and try to get behind them. In the first half, they made it very difficult for you. They kept it low block, very compact, and they gave you you had the ball, you were able to move it around, but unable to penetrate. In the second half, we saw a change. Mlondo went inside, Boy came outside, and we started to see a bit of openings. What was the approach? What did you say at halftime, and how did you change tactically to be able to get them out of those positions and be able to exploit the space they leave behind?
We changed the system. It was unnecessary of us to still have 4 at the back when they are not really coming at us. So what we did was, let's have Sive out and give Malinga, and we went with the wingers, and then we said to Emile, let's isolate, play on the side, and you'll always have 1v1. Finish the 1v1, and then we get into the box, and then that was the approach, where we then say, let's go wide, create the situation of 1v1 on the side, because when we go into the combination inside, we were unable. They were kicking us off the ball. They made it very hard for us. So we are avoiding so many things, because this is just the beginning of the tournament. We still going to play Mauritius. We still want to get to the semi-finals. We still want to get to the finals. So we cannot afford to lose players at this time. So we were very mindful, but we said, let's play through our width and forget about playing inside, because it was really clustered inside, like you rightfully said. Very compact, but they forgot that we can also stretch it out and play through our width.
Coach, I think that 7-8 minutes you made 4 substitutions with the score being 2-0. Usually in a game when you are leading 2-0 and you make 4 substitutions, the tempo normally drops. But I'm sure you'll be happy with the fact that your substitutions maintained the tempo. They kept going and even got a goal, which tells you a lot about the depth that you have in this team, that you are able to remove 4 starters and put in 4 other players and still have a go at the opponent.
So yeah, you're right, because the thing is, the team was not coming at us. They were sitting there. So what do you do then? Even if you bring, they did not test us. They did not come at us. They were sitting right on their box there. So there's no need for us to keep all this. It's 2-0, very risky. If we were playing a good team, we will not do that. But with a team that doesn't really show any intentions of coming, so you then say, let's put out these ones for the next game, and then we bring others for the minutes as well.
Colleagues, any further questions? Yeah, no, we're still going.
Okay. Coach, no one wants to see their players being kicked like this. No one wants to see this type of physicality that we saw today. But often when you go to tournaments like AFCON, it happens. As much as you don't want it, do you perhaps think it was, from another perspective, a good test for the boys to see how they react against it, and how do they, stand their ground when faced against such physicality, which you can expect when we advance to AFCON?
Look, I think this is not football. Referees are there to protect us. How do you correct off the ball incident? Referees are there to help and say, here is the card for you for doing this. But instead, we were getting yellow cards. If you go back and look at that, we're not supposed to be getting yellow cards. Those yellow cards, it was just the giveaway. We're not supposed to get those. Referees are there to help the game. The referees are there to even help these kids, to give them the right tools for them to go to the future. But referees, if are not there to protect us, it becomes a problem. And you cannot then say you're going to anticipate this behavior in AFCON or anyway. That is not football. We need to play football. We are in Africa, in the SADC side. We are in the COSAFA. We need to do it right and have better teams that are going there out there to represent the COSAFA teams. But in this way, this is not how it's supposed to be done.
No, Coach, last one from my side. With this result, Coach, you almost have one leg on the knockout stages. Because as it stands, you are sitting firmly on top with 6 points. You did mention earlier that today you did not make any changes to your starting team. Are you planning to make any changes in the last game of the group, or are you planning to keep the same players that started the last 2 games?
Look, we'll go back again, get the report and the feedback from our doctors, the physios, before we can actually. The plan was to maintain and build up on the team. But at the same time, we need to get the report back from our doctors to say who are the players available, who are the players not available. Then we take it from there.
No, Coach, again, thanks for coming through, and best of luck with the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.